Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay, Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Sunday night, January the 12th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hey everyone, hope you had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. Thank you for asking. And the Canucks have passed the halfway point of the season. So tonight I'm going to talk about what the first half brought us. And I'm going to talk to you about what we can expect from the second half. We'll talk a bit about Eric Brannstrom as well. And I think this hour is going to go, or this 45 minutes to an hour is going to go by very, very quickly. Before I get into my usual opening show things, I'm just trying to think of what I did last night, what I did all weekend. Today, had a nice day with Gail, just took it easy, went to church in the morning, spent the whole day together. Yesterday, I know what I did yesterday. Yesterday, we ran a retreat during the morning, actually during the day at our church. And both Kayla and Jacob were involved in that. And then in the evening, I watched the Canucks game, of course, and then went to my friend's house out in Surrey for his 45th birthday. And that was a lot of fun as well. And then on Friday night, I'm trying to think of what we did on Friday night. Gosh, this weekends go such a blur. Or Friday night, watched the horrible Carolina Hurricanes Vancouver Canucks game, and then ended up with Game Over with Mark. So it was wonderful to go back to Game Over Vancouver. And thank you. There are many of you. I remember Irwin was there. Elfin was there. I think Coach Rob. I can't remember who. And I'm sorry if you were there and I didn't mention your name, but I appreciate those of you that went over and supported me on my return to Game Over Vancouver. So let's get started tonight. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame franchise members, thank you for your support as always. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you're here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you get involved. And thank you, Jaskrin, for your monthly membership message. And thank you also for Lucas for your donation. I'll be getting to those in a second. Now, let me just checking one thing. Hold on. I'm trying to show a message that was put in, that was deleted. Actually, before I get going, Fillmore, do me a favor and don't delete anything else, please, for now. Thank you, Fillmore. I appreciate that. Hopefully those were accidents, but one of the moderators, and I'll just say it. I think hopefully it was an accident, but yes, if we can, Viper's fine. I don't know where his messages went, so let's. We will move on from here. Yeah, be careful, everyone, especially those that are moderators, because if you're moderating in a strange way, then you don't have to be moderators anymore. That's easy, and I can fix that pretty simply. Okay, enough of that. You can subscribe to the channel so you get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos every single day, or when I do them. You can like the video. Already 70 of you watching, 45 on YouTube, another 25 on X. Thank you. Like the fact that we're together, like the fact that it's the start of another week, like the fact that the Canucks shut out the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto on Hockey Night in Canada. That was awesome. So really, that's a good reason to like the video, and just like the fact that we're together, hanging out and enjoying each other's company. You can leave a donation like legendary Lucas Gates just did. Thank you. I'll get to that in a second. You can gift a membership. You can use your monthly membership message like I think Jaskrin Kumo did. Thank you, Jaskrin. You can buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership. I think I just said use your monthly membership message. And then if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Okay, let's get to the two special messages that came in when I was doing my intro. So we start off with Jasker Kumo using his monthly membership message. Let's give Jasker some love in the chat. Jasker says, I keep thinking the NHL is trying so hard not to promote Quinn Hughes for Norris. Everywhere I see is who will finish with more points, Werenski or Makar. But yes, I hear what you're saying. And Jasker, what I love is Hughes was so dominant on Hockey Night in Canada against the Big Bad Leafs. And with his 2 points, he's right behind Makar and Werenski with the better points per game because he missed those, whatever it is, 4 to 6 games. So not to worry. I know there's some consternation that maybe Makar is going to win the Norris, but I think there's enough, hopefully there are enough smart voters out there with access to the stats that they need to look at that they'll see that Quinn Hughes, well, at least in our opinion, I know collectively here, we think he is the best, he's the best person to, best person to win. But thank you, Jasker. Let's give Jasker some love in the chat for sure. Then we go to legendary Lucas Gates, who had a massive day today. $20 donation from Lucas says Coquitlam Express wins 6-1 over the Langley Rivermen on Autism Acceptance Night up in Poirier Arena. Great win up there. In arena hosting and jersey designed to boot. Next up, Abbotsford on Tuesday. Like, sub, become a member, and more. Let's go. So firstly, thank you for the donation, Lucas. More importantly, and let's give him some love, congratulations on a huge day for you. I know you've worked very hard for this. You prepared very well for this. You were looking forward to this, and I'm sure you did great. So yes, the Coquitlam Express wins 6-1 on a day that they're wearing the jerseys that Lucas designed for a second straight year for Autism Acceptance. So that's already amazing. Then Lucas did in-arena hosting. I haven't seen any footage yet, but I'm sure you did great. That's amazing. And then I saw on your X account, Lucas, that then you put on some skates and you did a post-game skate on the ice. That's wonderful as well. And then you're doing the same thing. I don't know about the in-arena hosting, but I know that you're doing some work with Abbotsford on Tuesday. So all to say, congratulations, Lucas. Well-deserved. And thank you for the donation. Let's give Lucas some love in the chat. And then we ain't done. Swervin' Irvin says, when I worked in Surrey, my GM son and my daughter were born a week apart. Very cool to tell you guys that he, Alexander Lang, made his WHL debut with the Tri-City Americans today. That is awesome. What a great story. So the son who was born in the same week as Swervin Irvin's daughter made his WHL debut. That is pretty awesome. So thank you, Swervin Irvin, for sharing that story. Thank you for the donation. Let's give Swervin Irvin some love in the chat for sure. So thank you, Irvin. Thank you, Lucas, for your generosity. And thank you, Jasker, for using your monthly membership message. I'm going to talk a bit about Eric Brannstrom. Going to talk a bit about where the Canucks stand in the standings. And then mid-show, I'll do my mid-show sponsor read and then turn it over to all of you. Awesome. Very good. Wait, is Skytrain Alfred in a different account today? Alfred, isn't that the one he usually, or is there, or there's Metro Alfred as well, right? All right, make sure you vote on my poll question. Just asking you where you think the Canucks are going to wind up now that we're in the second half of the season. So the first bit of news today was that defenseman Eric Brannstrom was placed on waivers. When you place an NHL player on waivers, every team has a chance to claim him tomorrow. Obviously, they have to pick up his contract if they claim him. And the order goes in reverse order of the standings. So if you're the worst team in the league, you get first dibs and so on and so forth. My guess is that Brannstrom is going to flow through because although he did, and I'll talk about this, although he had a good start to this year, it's not like he's done anything stupendous or amazing where another club is going to say, wow, this guy is way better than any of our third pairing D-men. So my guess is that he will clear waivers, but that doesn't mean a team might take a risk, take a flyer on him, not the Philadelphia Flyers, but take a flyer and maybe add Brannstrom for depth on their roster. So we'll know by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if he does clear, he will be going down to Abbotsford. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm okay with this. And if you watch my video from earlier today, I'm okay with this move. And I think there's three main reasons why the Canucks made this move today. And I'll go through each of them. But a bit about Erik Brannstrom. He came over. He's 25 years old, Swedish, 5'10", 185. So not the biggest guy, but a good skater, as we saw. We called him Quinn Hughes light, but I think that's actually disrespectful to Quinn Hughes. Not saying that Brannstrom isn't a good player. They're all good players to be in the NHL, but we really shouldn't really compare anyone to Quinn Hughes. So Brannstrom came over in the Tucker Pullman trade. So you remember, we actually traded Tucker Pullman away, and Pullman won't play because of his concussion issues. But we actually got an asset back, and that asset was Erik Brannstrom. And he was good to have at the start of the season because Derek Forbort was ill, was hurt, and then went on a personal leave. Vinny Desharnais was fighting some small things. And this was even before Philip Hronek got hurt. So Brannstrom actually played in 28 games with the Vancouver Canucks. And I'll show you actually his kind of stat line. So Brannstrom played in 28 games for the Canucks, notching 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. He was a -4. And remember, and we talked about this on my stream when we first got him. Last 2 seasons, he actually played a lot of games. Like he played 76 games for Ottawa last season, 74 the year before that. And in the shortened season, he played, oh no, that wasn't the shortened season. He played 53 games. Oh yeah, that was the All-Canadian division. I can't remember. I'm so mixed up now. But regardless, he was a regular player for Ottawa. So then he came here, and he actually started his tenure off here pretty good. If you look at his first games, he was +1, +1, +2, +1, -2, +2. So 5 of his first 6 games, and I made this point in my vlog today, he was a plus player, getting anywhere from 11 minutes up to 16 minutes. And then he had, an assist in his third game, then an assist later. Then he had a couple of rough games here, -1, -3. But then he actually put up 4 points in 4 games, as you see, 2 points, and then 1 point, 1 point. And then he tailed off completely. He only had 1 more point after that, 2 more points after that. But look, -1, -2, -1, -1. And then before that, another -1. So I know plus minus isn't the only stat we should worry about, but his plus minus took a beating in his last few games. And he's only played, he hasn't played in the new year, right? His last game was December 31st, 2024. So if you saw that if you watched my vlog from earlier today, I think there's 3 reasons why they made this move, why they put Brannstrom on waivers. Number 1, I don't think he's a Rick Tocchet guy. I think he is, I think Patrick Allvin wanted him as a Swede, and a decent Swede, not just because he's Swedish, but just because Allvin wants him doesn't mean Rick Tocchet is always going to play him. So Rick Tocchet, loves his big trees as defensemen. Myers, Soucy, Forbort, Desharnais, last year, Zadorov, Cole, Juleson plays big. So all big guys. Not the best skaters, not the best puck movers, as we've lamented over the past 3 weeks. And then, of course, you have Hughes and Hronek, who's not the biggest guy either, but not afraid to shy away from physicality. But I think you'd agree with me. The issue with the Canucks over the past 2 weeks hasn't been their defense, actually. It's been their scoring. Because on defense, they've actually had some really, really good results. Going backwards, they obviously shut out the Toronto Maple Leafs last night, 3-0. So that was good. Then the game before that, that was a great Carolina. Maybe that wasn't the best example because that was a boring game and the Canucks were outplayed very badly. So, but they only gave up 2 goals, and it wasn't one of them an empty netter. I can't remember. Then against Washington, they only allowed 2 goals, and one of them was in overtime. Montreal game wasn't great. That was 5-4 in overtime. Then before that, they lost 3-0 to Nashville, but only 1 goal was with a goalie. The other 2 were empty netters. So you could argue that in 4 of the last 5 games, the Canucks defense has actually been pretty good. It's the offense that was giving them problems. Now you might say, well, Clay, if you talk about you need offense, obviously defensemen are a big part of that, and you need defensemen that can move the puck. Yes, I agree. I don't think, though, Brannstrom's offensive upside and his impact offensively was greater than his impact offensively was not greater than his rough play defensively. In other words, Rick Tocchet probably doesn't see the offense as much of a blessing if he can't play defense. And he actually made a comment saying, you have to play defense. You have to know how to play defense. So not the most ringing endorsement for Erik Brannstrom. So that's the first reason that I think that Brannstrom was put on waivers, is simply he's not a Rick Tocchet guy. And when I say that, Tocchet wanted more defensively than offensively. Number 2, I think the quiet emergence of Guillaume Brisebois makes Brannstrom expendable, because on the left side, you have Hughes, obviously, and Soucy, and then Forbert when he's healthy, and then now Guillaume Brisebois. And I think someone else mentioned up there that it was pretty funny, but it's so true. Where was it? Someone said, oh yeah, Swervin Irvin says, Tocchet calls Brisebois Briz, so you know he likes him. Yeah, he has a nickname now, Briz. So I think there's simply too many players in front of Brannstrom on the left side. Again, it's Hughes and Soucy, then one of Forbert or Brisebois. And actually, both Forbert and Brisebois played yesterday because they actually sat Desharnais. So I think if Soucy had to go switch to the right side. Regardless, that's 4 NHLers already ahead of Erik Brannstrom on the left side. And Brisebois, he's been good. It's a feel-good story. We know he had missed all last season with this concussion. We know he's everyone wants him to succeed, and I think he hasn't been noticeable in a bad way. That's a good thing as a third-pairing defenseman. So I think the emergence of Brisebois, surprisingly a little bit, maybe that's another reason why Brannstrom's on waivers. And the third one, I think Filip Hronek is close to returning. I think he's going to be within the next 2 weeks, which is great. And I get it that Brannstrom plays left side and Filip Hronek plays right side, but the overall depth in defense gets way better. So now you're going Hughes, Hronek, Soucy, Myers, and then either Forbert, Desharnais, Juleson, Brisebois. So that's 8 guys. Now, so Brannstrom's number 9 on that list, right? So where he was number 8, and when Hronek's out, when Hronek gets back, now Brannstrom's number 9, and you never keep 3 defensemen. The most you keep on a roster is 2 extra defensemen. So those are the 3 reasons why I think Erik Brannstrom got waived. Number 1, he's not a Tocchet guy. Number 2, Guillaume Brisebois. Number 3, the inevitable return of Filip Hronek. So before I get to questions and before we talk about the first half of the season, hey Taylor, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good luck at university. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let's do 3 to 5 minutes on this news today about Erik Brannstrom going on waivers. You think it's a good move? Do you agree with my reasoning? My 3 reasons: not a Tocchet guy, Brisebois, and Hronek. You think it's a bad move? Tell me why. Tell me why. Adrian says, since Brannstrom has upside, why don't you think he was used as trade bait first? Adrian, usually, great question. Usually if a guy goes on waivers, that means the Canucks have already tried to move him. Because you're right, it would be stupid to put a guy on waivers without first trying to get an asset back for him. I'm sure that the Canucks have tried. And only once you can't get someone on once you can't trade someone away and get assets back, that's when you put him on waivers. Great question. Great question. What else, guys? What else do you, your thoughts on Erik Brannstrom being waived by the Canucks? Tyler agrees with my reasons. Thank you. He's still a very good player. Hope he stays in Abbey. Fangirl says, I'm not surprised about Brannstrom going on waivers, not being played a lot. Yeah, he hasn't played. You should start a bet on what team picks Brannstrom up. Okay, I'll start. I don't think anyone does. I hope he knuckle back. I hope you're going to gain some ice time in Abbey and come back to the NHL. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing is if he's in Abbey, he's still property of the Vancouver Canucks. Clay, I like your reasoning, but I think we need another defenseman. Maybe they made that move to get someone else. Yeah, I don't. Carol, that's fair, totally fair, but I don't buy it. I think the someone else is Hronik in the next 2 weeks. You'll be able to do that Sharks game. I thought you're on the cruise though. Blazers fan, I don't care. We already lacking so many two-way D-men. Fair. Brannstrom had a decent outlet pass, but he kept getting hemmed in on the defensive side. I agree with you, Viper. Hey, BC, nice to see you. Your Kings are doing well. No, actually, Chardal has been here a lot. He's actually very regular. Been here a lot here for the last 2 months. Skytrain Alfred is fine with it. Tocchet didn't exactly have trees on defense in Pittsburgh and Phoenix. I think tall blue liners and Adam Foote thing. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, Clay, can you put him down if no one claims him one of the NHL teams? Can't you? Can't you go down to Abbotsford? Yes. So to send, because he's a pro, to send him to Abbotsford, you have to put him through waivers first, Simon. That's the whole point. I'm sure ultimately they hope he gets through, so he gives you depth, but that's the risk, right? Justin's birthday later this week. That's awesome. Biggest reason he's not complete enough as an NHL player defensively under Tocchet. Sorry, I think the biggest reason is he's not complete enough as an NHL player defensively under Tocchet, no matter the need for puck moving demon. That is totally fair. SGA, you're kidding, right? I've been talking about Brannstrom for the past 5 minutes. If he clears his way playing Abbotsford, or if he cut, no, he'll play in Abbotsford. I'm sure he'll play in Abbotsford. It's been fun seeing the Leafs fans melting over the fact that they got shut up by the. I did see Dango's LFR for sure, and yeah, I knew it was going to be a wild one. Oh, how nice that comment starts off with the word complaint. Hey RSA, you should stream later so I can watch. No, I'm not going to stream any later than 11 o'clock. What do you think this is? It's already late enough. Most people say I should stream earlier, so. I do appreciate you watching from Sweden, but it's not feasible for me to start any later. You're leaving on the 8th. Good. You think management and Tocchet not on the same page on the kind of players they need? I wouldn't say it's rampant, but maybe on this one, for sure. For sure. Yes, we are very aware that Charlo's a Sharks fan. Thank you. Yeah, Edmund, or the second to last week. Like I'm looking at the week of the 20th, actually, as opposed to the week of the 27th. Will we see Willander moved? No, I don't think that that's going to fly with this management. Take care, Taylor. Okay, no cruise now. All-inclusive resort. Gotcha. I think the Avs or Edmonton will claim it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think Willander to be that small. Where does Tocchet rank as a coach? Well, he won the Jack Adams. Not everyone does that. What if Tocchet is sending a message to management that the decor is because of Alvin and JR? His quote about Hughes not being able to play the whole game seems like a shot. Yeah, Tocchet's not afraid to, but I don't think he's trying to do it to start a controversy. He's just talking very, very honestly. Okay, so that is a bit about Eric Brannstrom. Now let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks for a few minutes, and then I'll do my mid-show sponsor read and turn it over to all of you. So the Canucks at the 41 game mark, so don't include the Toronto one, they were 18, 13, and 10. They were 5 games over 500, 46 points in 41 games. So 46 points in 41 games is obviously a 92-point pace. You just double it. And then with their win now, they have 48 and 42. So 48 divided by 42 times 82. Now they are on a 94-point pace, which makes sense because they won that game. So I looked it up. 94 points would not have got you in the playoffs last year, would not have got you in the playoffs the year before that. Can't count the 2 COVID years because they're shortened seasons. So only one time in the past 6 or 7 seasons will 94 points get you into the playoffs. Now, hopefully they play at more of a 98 or 102-point pace. And so to still finish with, say, 100 points, which would get you in the playoffs, that's 18 games over 500. You basically got to go, let's presume 15 or 16 overtime losses. So 66. So you probably got to go, what did I say? 18 games over 500, like 42, 24, and 42 and 24, 66 and 16. Yeah, that's 100 points. Wow, what a fluke. 42, 24, and 16 gets you 100 points. 42, 24, and 16. So that means the Canucks have to go 23, 11, and 6 for the rest of the way. So could you see the Canucks winning outright twice as many games as they lose? Because that's what it'll take to get to 100 points to, say, third place in the division. Otherwise, it's looking like wild card for sure. And I'm looking at your poll, looking at the poll where I asked you, where do you think they will finish in the standings at the end of the season? The majority of you said wild card spot, 53%. So you don't think they're going to move. 22% said second in the playoffs. Sorry, 22% said third in the Pacific. 17% said second in the Pacific. And 6% of you, probably 4 or 5 people saying they're going to miss the playoffs completely. Now, what is crazy is I'm not going to go like day by day, but there's at least 5 or 6 things that happened this year that didn't happen last year. And, I'm not going to go in chronological order because I'm just riffing off the top of my head, but this whole Miller PD thing is big. The major injuries, Thatcher Demko and Philip Hronek, that's big. Smaller injuries, Hughes and PD being out for the same time, that was big. Dakota Joshua having surgery for testicular cancer, that's big. And Besser missed a couple games too, right? Besser missed some games. Yeah, there's just what a crazy start to the season for the Canucks. So there was injuries, and then Derek Forbort had to leave the team for personal reasons as well. And then there's just so much going on. Despite that, the Canucks are hanging on to a wild card spot. Technically, by points percentage, Calgary's ahead of them because Calgary has 47 points in 41 games. Vancouver has 48 points in 42 games. So they're basically tied. But yeah, we gotta hope that Calgary starts remembering their Calgary and start losing a little bit. So despite everything that went on, there have been some good stories. Obviously, Kevin Lankinen has been a good story. Kiefer Sherwood has been a great story. DeBrusk has been okay. I think Heinen, you'd agree, has been disappointing. Brannstrom was a great story when he started, and then he's fallen back a little bit. And then Forbort and Desharnais have just been okay. So I think of the new guys, Lankinen and Sherwood are two main reasons, especially Lankinen, as to where we are in the standings. I don't worry about Thatcher Demko. I don't worry that he's not back to Thatcher Demko self just yet. Remember, he's coming off a major injury, and he's only played 8 games. So all to say, all those things have happened. A crazy, crazy first half of the season, yet the Canucks are still in a playoff position. Oh yeah, and of course, I can't believe I meant to say it. I thought I said it actually, but obviously I didn't. And then of course, the probably the biggest story in terms of games missed, aside from the Demko injury, was JT Miller's absence. He missed 9 or 10 games in November, December, and hasn't looked like he's only had one really dominant game since he's been back. But I'm willing to give him a benefit of the doubt. So many stories: the Miller PD rift, the Miller leave of absence, the injuries, major and minor, Demko, Hronek, Besser, Hughes, PD, Joshua coming back from testicular cancer and then getting injured differently. Those are huge storylines. And then some guys missing, like I said, missing time for personal reasons as well. So I'm optimistic. I know that the Canucks, they're doing exactly how I thought they'd do on the road trip. On Canucks After Dark, I said they go 1-1-1, but I got the order wrong. I thought that they were going to lose to Washington. I thought that they're going to beat Carolina. Sorry, I thought that they were going to lose to Washington in extra time, and they did. I thought they were going to beat Carolina, and I thought they were going to lose outright to Toronto, but I had it backwards. So I got the Washington part right, and I have the Carolina and Toronto games reverse. I do think they're going to lose to Winnipeg. They're just such a good team, especially in Winnipeg. And then it's going to be tough. Then it's LA on Thursday and Edmonton on Saturday. And then hopefully we get Demko back for the game. Philip Hornet, we get him back for the games after that. So that's kind of where we're at right now, you guys. The Canucks are on a 94-point pace. They got to move a little bit, at least make that 100-point pace to ensure that they get into the playoffs. But the sky is not falling. Hopefully the worst is behind us. Miller and PD will figure out how to coexist. Miller will find his game back. Demko will get his game back. Hronek returns. Hughes keeps doing what Hughes is doing. PD follows up his really, really impressive performance from Saturday. And we'll see where the Canucks end up. Yeah, actually, some other things. Hoglander's been a no-show. That's true. And no, Dan, I mentioned, you might have missed it. I do not think Makar's I don't think Makar has the Norris locked up at all. At all. In fact, you look at the stats now for points, and you look at defensemen, and it's actually way closer than we think. Makar is 49 in 44 games. Werenski has 48 in 43 games. Hughes is 47 in 38 games. So Hughes has played 6 fewer games, and he's only 2 points behind. So I think by the end of the year, it will be Hughes. Hughes will also get some heart consideration because he's so valuable to the team. We've seen how bad we are without him. But there's also some other good candidates for Hart. Kaprizov, Draisaitl, McKinnon, others. So let's see what happens. But no, I do not think that Makar is a lock at all. Okay, it's 11:30. Let me do my Mitchell sponsor read. And as always, I start off my Mitchell sponsor read by thanking my primary sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the Greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach. Check him out at coachpatricklou.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you sign up. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art Maker, that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the URL, use the link, tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Also, thanks to everyone that has purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. Want to remind you how you could, let's do this first. My shows this week, there's Canucks After Dark, Parker and me tomorrow at 10, and then I'll do CCC at 11:15. On Tuesday, it'll be CCC at 11, and that is a big show because it'll be a Canucks Winnipeg Jets post game, and it'll also be week 1 of bowling. So I've had a month off. That's another thing we did. Sean and I went to go practice today. It was cosmic bowling, so it's not the best. It's fun for like kids. It's not the best to practice, but Tuesday night's bowling. Wednesday night is members at 11 p.m. And then Thursday is CCC at 11 p.m. And that will be a Canucks Kings post-game show. Finally, a reminder that you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can leave a donation like Lucas and Swerve and Irvin have done. Thank you guys. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. Use your monthly membership message like Jaskrin has done. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. Okay, for the last 15 minutes or so, I'll try and get some of your questions and definitely, all of your questions and some of your comments. Just how you feeling? Give me your thoughts going into the next, going into the second half of the season. So let's go. If you've typed in something already, that's awesome. But put something. I'll go from this point forward in the chat. Do you plan on getting Four Nations tournament merchandise? No, I'm not a big merch guy. Just my own merch. So no, Fangirl, good question. But no, I am not likely going to buy Four Nations stuff for sure. If the Flames beat Chicago tomorrow, the Canucks will be out of a playoff spot. How much pressure is there to get results this week against 3 very good teams? Ricky, I think the pressure is going to be on for every single game for the rest of the season, quite frankly, because there's very, very margin for error. We're not talking about like must-win games just yet. So, and I don't think we should be disappointed if the Canucks can't win all three of the next, because it's Winnipeg, LA, Edmonton. That's a gauntlet for sure. But I do think that the pressure is on. Fish or chicken? Well, if it's sashimi and sushi, it's fish. Canucks' first game where they score so early in the game. Last season, they did it way more often. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to get it going just 31 seconds in. Yeah, I enjoyed that dangle. Although admittedly, he didn't even talk about the game, right? He didn't break down the game. He acknowledged a couple of good things the Canucks did, but basically talked about the Leafs, which is his prerogative. It's his channel, obviously. Could the Canucks use Dave Lowry as a coach? He was good at the Royals. Yeah, I know Dave Lowry. I don't know him personally. I mean, I know of him. I'm not sure the Canucks are looking to add to their coaching staff right now. Tyler is one of the best scorers in floor hockey and darn good. Awesome. I love it, Justin. Yeah, they are undefeated. They have 1,000 points percentage in the second half of the season. Hopefully they can build on Saturday night, but the way the season has gone, all bets are off. Yeah, exactly. Although there's an extra day of practice. Like we don't play until Tuesday as opposed to Monday. Do you think Juleson will be sent back to the A's when Hronek is back? I can see Briz take Juleson's spot. I'm not convinced with Juleson's over. Yeah, Juleson hasn't been great. And then on the right side, though, I don't know. I don't know if you want to. I'm not worried about losing Juleson to waivers. I'm more wondering though if they want to, if they're going to keep like 8 defensemen up, 4 lefties, 4 righties, and then 1 extra forward. Great question though, Sky Trinoffrin. Carol thinks they're going to do a lot better in the second half. I like that. Would you be opposed to Canucks trading Demko and giving Lankin an extension with the dollar? Lankin has been great. Am I convinced that he can be a starter for a full season? Well, he's almost there, right? He's done half the season. I still got to see a bit more. I know it sounds kind of crazy given how good Lankin has been. And if you're trading Demko right now, you're kind of trading low. And the market for goaltenders, that's why you don't see a lot of goaltenders get traded. The market is always so soft for goaltenders. So would I be opposed to it? I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it wouldn't be my first route of action. The Canucks will beat the Jets. Okay, Brian. When it's Canucks versus Jets, do you cheer on both teams or do you not care who wins it? No, I definitely care. So the Canucks. The Jets are my second favorite team, but the gap is so big. Like it's Canucks way up here, and then Jets, Avalanche, and Lightning are way down here, and then Calgary's like way down there. Vitamin supplements. I don't use them. Team Briz or Team Bran? Neither, but I'm fine with what Breezeball's been doing. Yeah, Bumble Fs. That was pretty funny, Viper. I hear the phrase "not a target type of player" a lot. What does that mean in terms of offense and defense? Ryan, that's a totally fair question. To me, and there's no definition, of course, in Webster's dictionary, a target player to me is good hockey IQ, but really gritty is what I'm getting at, is on the boards, standing up for teammates. It doesn't mean you have to be like 6'5" or anything like that. But if you're smaller, you got to be like really good to kind of make up for it, I think, in Tocchet's eyes. So a Tocchet type of player, it's not just about size. I think it's more about grit and being hard to play against. That's what I think. BC would know more. I'm not sure BC's still in the chat, but he would know a lot more about Kings games being. I know at least one of them. I don't know they're being relocated. I think one of them got canceled though. Wasn't the Kings Flames game that got canceled? I think. Who would you trade for to make this team a lot better? Well, there are a lot of guys that I would trade for. How many of them are actually available? Hard to say, but a realistic trade target, a guy like Rasmus Andersson, second pair right shot D-man would be good. But I'm not sure. Calgary's basically fighting with us for a playoff spot, so I don't think Calgary does that trade. Do I watch Kempner on YouTube? We've been on each other's shows. We message, but I do not watch all of his shows. I don't have time to watch all of his shows. I will sometimes put it on when I'm setting up my own show or something. When he started, I watched a bit more because I gave him a bit of feedback, but it wasn't even like he needed my feedback. He's fine. But I did want to support him when he was starting. So I don't watch him as often now, especially because sometimes when he does his shows, I'm either doing a goal breakdown video, or if the Canucks win, which hasn't been a lot recently, that's why I forgot to do it, or kind of just doing other things, because he goes a tiny bit earlier than I do. So I don't always get to watch it, and I don't always watch his stuff on replay immediately, but I will check in once in a while just to, and he's doing well. He's doing really well. Canucks should waive Hughes. I'm not sure what you're getting at. What I liked about the Canucks last night, slowed the game down and made the Leafs Stars look boring. Would still love some more shots. I agree. Yeah, if I was at that game, that was pretty boring to watch. Like, Canucks fan, I loved it, but imagine paying big money and being a Maple Leafs fan and being in the arena last night. That would have been rough for sure. Only thing I've liked about Jules this season is penalty kill and blocking shots. Decision making has been a lot worse. Yeah, he always tries to do that big hit in the neutral zone. You just see him like go through your screen, and then it's a 2-on-1. You're going to build the CCC Crew hockey team. Awesome. I must have missed something. That sounds good, Shannon. Canucks odds to not make the playoffs, 155. I'm not betting that. Can you believe that yesterday's win was the Canucks' first shutout win in Toronto franchise history? What? In history? That's crazy. Do you think Talkett's system has changed, or just injuries have caused the downturn compared to last year? I think at the start of the year, they wanted to play more run and gun, and they kept getting burned. So I don't think it's changed that much, to be honest with you. I just think that the personnel hasn't been good enough or consistent enough. I saw the game at my friend's place, but I had a wrong broadcast on. It was Punjabi. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. A lot of passion there for sure. Oh, you have a game tomorrow night, left wing. Good luck. Make the Canucks fly back to Vancouver and fly back to Winnipeg on Tuesday. Yeah, exactly. Travel duress is the best. Do you think the team used the obstacle for Toronto to rally together for the most complete game? No. Yes and no, Justin. I think, as you know, Rick Tocchet didn't want to use it as an excuse, but how can it not motivate you a little bit, right? Good point. Hey, Burn, why did the Canucks not play consistently? Is one reason the goalies? Never in story. No, I just think I don't know. I think a bit of it's coaching, getting your guys to start well and to play hard right from the very start. I do think a little bit's been injury and lack of consistency, but I just think it's hard in the NHL. Like, I know they make a lot of money, but you're playing against guys who want to win just as badly as you do, and sometimes are more talented than you. So it's tough. It's easy to sit here and say they should be way more consistent for sure. Troy Stetcher, fire hydrant, small but hard on the puck. Kings, Flames played last night. Was that the makeup game? Benning get another job? I don't think so. Didn't Anderson just say he hates the Canucks and the Oilers? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But that doesn't mean he can't be traded here. Hall of Fame member Knuckleback, $2 donation. Thank you, Knuckleback. Let's give Knuckleback some love in the chat. Who's the player you hated the most? I didn't hate Messier. I did, when we played against him, I did hate Duncan Keith. I didn't like the way that he took Daniel Sedin out in one of the seasons. So that was one of them. When he was playing, I hated him as a player. I didn't like Marchand back in 2011, that's for sure. Tim Thomas annoyed me. Who would you consider untouchables in the Canucks? Hughes. Man, part of me still says Petey. I really like him. And it's not to say I want Miller out of town because of Petey, but I'd say Besser and Petey. I know some people might not agree with Petey. If you had to replace Tocchet with a Canucks coach from the past, at the age they were when they were coaching, Vigneault. I think Alain Vigneault was their best coach in history. If Mike Gillis can't get another job, how can Benning get a job? Exactly. I feel like doing a CHL channel, but don't think it'll be popular as the NHL ones. Yeah, but you might quickly build up a niche of solid audience, Blazers fan. Whoever that guy is that told you he's a trusted source and that Demko's out for the season should never be trusted ever again. Yeah, Ryan, I can't remember. Did I say that in a public stream or in a member stream? I remember saying it, but I've also gone back to my friend who's friend was the source and just said, good thing I didn't run with it. Yeah. Who would be your NHL comparable if you made it to the show? In my current ability, no one, because I'd be there. But if I take my characteristics of how I play, that's a good question. Kind of like a Tyler Mott, like fast. No, I'm not even that fast though. I can't say Kyle Wellwood because my hands aren't that good. So I got to think of someone who's a great teammate, good leader, but can't skate fast and doesn't have good hands. That doesn't make me sound very appealing, does it? Tell me who I just described, you guys. If I'm a good leader, liked in the locker room, respectful, work my butt off for sure, understands the game, but not the best skater and not the best hands. Trent Klatt, Desharnais, Dana Merzen, Ian Cole. Okay, I'll let you guys keep going with that. Lots of talks about Rasmus Andersson for years of trade target. Thoughts on his comments the other day saying he hates the Canucks. I didn't hear that, so I have to go look that up. Well, I don't like a lot of Calgary Flames. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't. Do you think when Myers has a lane to the net in OT, he should just take the shot or continue to pass it back? I think he should not carry the puck, honestly. I think he should just play rover and stay in the neutral zone. Why did you enjoy the Leafs fans booing their team off the ice? Oh yeah, that was awesome. Go back in time, I picked Pat Quinn. Yeah, he was good too. He was great. Roger Nielsen was good. First shutout in Toronto since 1971, which was a 0-0. Gotcha. Alain Vigneault, Pat Quinn. Oh, you met him. That's awesome. Do you think Anderson's comments about the Canucks would have changed if Benning didn't trade the second round pick for Berchi and we used that to pick? It's so tough to say, Justin. That was 10 years ago now. I don't know. I don't know if he's bitter. I just think that'd be a long time to hold a grudge, right? I know the hockey guy has been talking about a lack of confidence on the ice. Would you think it's the same? Yeah, I think that's a fair comment for sure. For sure. You looked it up in chat. Canucks shut out the Leafs back in November 2, 2013. But was that in Toronto or Vancouver, Ryan? I'm not going to give a score prediction yet. SGA, let's do it when we get closer to the game. So much has to happen before that. I'm a margarine guy, Dan. Kings Flames last night was in Calgary. The game in LA was canceled. That was also, yes. So they haven't rescheduled that one just yet. PD's untouchable at 11-6 or 11-8. Yeah. Yes, we have not seen the guy who said Miller was getting traded. That's true. He has not been back. Wasn't it Timmy Canuck? When you get a chance, YouTube PD calls JT Miller hot-headed. Yes, I saw that. Nuck fan. I was watching that today. PD is playing better since his return on Friday. He looked possessed like the alien. Yes. Well, he looked possessed like the alien just came back. He was really good against Toronto. Thoughts on the Marchand past story, the podcast guy that reported it and how Marchand ripped him to shreds. Yeah, obviously Marchand's going to say it. The podcast guy said the fact that Marchand ripped him to shreds shows that it's true. I'm not so sure about that. I do like how they dealt with it right away, though. Timmy Canuck. All right, this is who I am. Desharnais, Trent Klatt, Dana Merzen. Clay's NHL comparable is Alex Ovechkin. That's true. Ian Cole, Doug Lidster. If you can choose one player on this current team right now that you'd like to have on the show, who would it be? I think Quinn Hughes would be quite interesting. I think JT Miller would be interesting, but he's probably start swearing at me. I really like Brock Besser's personality. I think Kiefer Sherwood would be kind of interesting too, just because I can riff on the half Japanese thing for a little bit. Jeff Cowan, the Barbarian. Hey, Pastor Dan. Do I remember Edler being suspended a few times for borderline calls? I do. Desharnais in front of the net. Definitely not Bufflin. Cowan, the Barbarian, exactly. And of course, yes, the player. That goes without saying, Adrian. Someone who's good looking. Jets, Knights, and Oilers. The week of truth. It's going to be tough, for sure. They said it was, on the broadcast, it was in Toronto, but Ryan said it was not. Yeah, interesting. So I guess the point is we don't shut out the Leafs a lot. Leafs are not a good team outside of Matthews. They were not good last night. Huge CHL fan, but took a break from the Blazers when you go to every home and away game for 4 years straight. Wow. That's very impressive that you went to the away games. Favorite thing Mike Gillis did as GM. I did like how he traveled to, wasn't he the one who traveled to extend the Sedins? That was Gillis, right? I think that was pretty big. Unless that was Burke. I thought that was Gillis, though. What did Olin bring to the Canucks when he was here? Oh, yeah. He was tough. He was very tough. He was very skilled as well. Not the most amazing skater, but I still think he's the second best defenseman in history behind Hughes. Like, I put him above Edler. But Olin was tough, had a good shot, good offensive ability, good shutdown guy as well. Yeah, the winter driving. Michael Chaput. Olin was great, would be the best defenseman in history of Quinn Hughes. Yes, I agree with you, Viper. Myers should sit on the bench in OT and throw a puck out from the bench for a breakaway. Yeah, the 2013 was in Van. Cool. People said Petey had a big defensive game. I didn't see many of his highlights in your breakdown video. Yeah, no, Irvin, great point. I use the NHL highlight package, so they usually don't put defensive plays in there. They put goals and scoring chances or big saves. So watching the game, though, he definitely had at least 4 or 5 really, really good defensive plays for sure. Clay's Besser, no, I don't shoot as well. Olin was a beast. Olin was a horse. Of current players, I have Hughes, Pedersen, Besser. Then I have one Canuck Clay jersey that was given to me, and then I have a couple blanks. Then of former players, I have Luongo, the Sedins, Ham Hughes that was given to me, David Booth. Don't ask. Those are my main ones. He did hire a sleeping specialist, and they try to get ahead of all those like interesting advantages for sure. Yes, that eye injury did slow him down for sure. Oh, Besser's the good looking. I gotcha. Myers has been good recently. Yeah, he's been okay. He didn't like his overtime play a couple games back. Are you going to any of the World Cup games when it's here? No, I probably won't. Not a big soccer fan. I still remember BX's goal against San Jose. I was watching that in Edmonton wearing my Canucks jersey. I got booed at Boston Pizza. Awesome. Way to represent. Do you watch other games, not Canucks? Not really, Dan. Gil's thing I like was that he tried a lot of unconventional things. Sleep doctors. Yes, I agree with you, Viper. If the 2010-2011 Canucks face this season Canucks, what would the score be? It's tough to say in a one game. I'd say in a best of 7 series, it's 4-1 for the 2010-2011 team. Should Meyer stays with Hughes when Hronek returns? Nope. Reunite Hughes and Hronek. Don't get a JT Miller because they'll be traded soon. Tocchet doesn't like small demon except Hughes because he's special. Do you think Hronek will be 100% ready to step in? I sure hope so. I hope they're not rushing him. It sounds like Hronek's rushing himself. Which Canucks jersey are you going to wear when we do the Sharks vs. Canucks? I haven't thought about it yet. Again, that's a month away. I'll worry about it the week that it happens. And I didn't even know I was supposed to wear a Canucks jersey. Is that what you're asking? I secretly watched the Kraken game. No, I don't. No, JT Miller is not being traded. I get that Petey had a good defensive game, but I agree with Mark on Game Over that if Petey having a good defensive game, a few shots and goals is standard, the comparison to the dog was so true. Yeah, but that's fair. But you got to start somewhere. We need points. That's fair. Oilers are catching up to Vegas, making me kind of nervous. Let them battle it out. We'll try and catch LA for third. I got looked at funny here in San Jose when I showed up with the 97 Orca jersey when the Canucks beat the Sharks in 2011. Nice. Way to represent. Fillmore. BX on TV looks young and sharp. You get back in the locker room. I agree. Trade deadline is March. Is it first week of March, I think? What sport other than hockey? The one I watch most on TV, do you call wrestling a sport? Definitely WWE and NFL football and CFL football. Playing, I enjoy bowling, volleyball, golf, basketball. Pedersen's been playing like Dano. Interesting. Quinn Hughes is a hockey unicorn. Fango doesn't think we'll see Hronek until February. That's fair. I think it'll be sooner, but we'll see. I do remember Canucks TV. I don't think Demko's going to get traded. I can't wear Toffoli jersey because I don't have one. Clay is the stanchion. like the actual stanchion on the wall. That's amazing. Friday, March 7th. Oh, is that the trade deadline? Okay, good. Should Canucks try a bid on Taves as a third or fourth line center? Yeah, is he any good right now? Does he still know how to play? Only Demko gets traded as a bundle. And yeah, you don't get a lot for goalies, as I mentioned. I do remember Canucks pay-per-view games for sure. Since you like football, is the Lions going to win or is it scripted for Kermit again? I don't think it's scripted. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So you're calling Detroit Chiefs final? If Kessler were to retire Canuck, would you rather be the Springer next season? Doesn't matter to me. Reigns declaring himself for the Rumble to go after Rhodes' title complicates Cena's WrestleMania 41 plans for. Yeah, I don't know, but they got the whole year to figure that out. Like for Cena. Interesting. So did Reigns do that? Did he actually declare himself for the Rumble to go after Rhodes? Or have they done that actually? Or is that what you're anticipating? 3 games. Wow, that's ambitious. When people are saying PD should win the Selke, they're not memeing Ryan, but he did have a good defensive performance. And there was a story that the guys on the bench were yelling Selke, Selke. I don't know, Skytrade and Alfred. I think Demko's going to want maybe in the 7 to 8 range, but I don't know if I go more than 3 or 4 years on that. I don't know. That's going to be so interesting. Yes, the stanchion that gave the Canucks that win over the Sharks. Very, 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 very important play responsibility, that stanchion. Only have a Kessler jersey, but I love a PD Hughes or Demko. Yep. To fully place for the Canucks? Not right now. Canucks on Prime is like pay-per-view. Do you pay for private parking tickets or toss them in the garbage and tolerate the collection notices? GLS, I've never had one. But I would probably do the latter. Toss it out. But I would only do so after asking enough people that I'm not going to get sued or taken to the court. Which of the Abbey guys do you see next season more with the main roster? I think Ratu will get a shot. I think DPD might get a shot. Lekaramaki will get a shot. Sasson. Yeah, some of those guys. Maybe Linus Karlsson. Good thoughts for Horn to come back. I like that. Reigns Roxina. Interesting. If Kessler does retire Canucks, since Bieksa got the puck extension from the famous goal, what would the team give him? I don't know. That's a good point. He was a bit of a trash talker. I don't know what Kessler would get. He was a beast, though, in that Nashville series in 2011. Can the upcoming Four Nations Cup, compared to former Canada Cup, the NHL seems to have no interest in the World Cup? Yeah, I think every best on best has its own unique identity. I just think there's going to be burn, regardless of what you compare it to. I think there's going to be just a lot of excitement that it's happening. And yes, of course, the Canada Cup had Russia in it. Whenever I visit Vancouver International Airport, the Canucks come to mind. That would make sense. PD falling down to block shots is better than him just falling down. Exactly. Now he's got a purpose. Demko might look at 1 or 2 million AAV in the next contract, or 2.5. Feel bad for him, but I don't see him getting a contract. No, I don't think he's getting less than the 5 he's making this year. That's just my gut feeling. I hear what you're saying. Blazers fan, he's got to work his way back up, but I think he's already earned that. True. I actually like Podkolzin when he was here more than Hoglander. But I think Hoglander might have the better career by the time every set is done. The Kessler bombs. Yes. Heyman on SmackDown did a segment with Cody and told Cody that Reigns has declared himself for the Rumble after winning the UFL back and wants the title back. Gotcha. Thank you. Sopel. Yep. McLean and Lume were at Abbey Canucks. Nice. Klingberg instead of Taves. Better off to accumulate future assets. And I'm going to end with this. Clay, do you think Canucks management is just dangling PD trade talk just to see what is out there with little desire to pull the trigger? Yeah, I don't know even if it's intentional just to dangle. I just don't see it happening. Like, I get that the trade protection doesn't kick in until July 1st, but why would you sign him for that massive contract if you're not going to build around him? Yes. Okay, last 2 for sure. Yeah, Canucks Bar and Grill inside YVR. And finally, what would you want? Outdoor game at Lumenfield versus Kraken or outdoor game at Banff against Edmonton and Calgary? Oh, Banff National Park. That would be pretty sick. Although Lumenfield's a nice too. But I think rivalry-wise, Edmonton or Calgary would be a better game than the Kraken. Okay, friends. I'm going to wrap up right now. It is exactly midnight. Thank you for being here. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, who had a big day at the Coquitlam Express game. Legendary Harry Mile, legendary Andrew Chang, thank you. And the Hall of Fame franchise members, thanks for your support. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and leave a donation if you'd like to on the way out. Thank you to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate and Coach Patrick Liu, Weight Loss Coach. And thank you to everyone who went above and beyond today. And I'm just giggling because I just saw the donation that came in. So thank you to Jaskaran, who uses monthly membership message for 14 months. Lucas with the $20 donation. Swervin Irvin with $14 donation. Knuckleback with the $2 donation. And a late donation from Knuckleback. I love it. Says this. Just want to leave a donation to ruin your outro. I will sit here all night at the expense of my outro if it means more donations. So thank you, Knuckleback, for the second donation of the stream. Let's give Knuckleback some love in the chat. All right, friends. Shows tomorrow night. Canucks After Dark at 10. My own show at 11:15. So happy to see all of you guys here. Thank you, Raymond, says thanks for your calming therapy after Canucks loss. Yeah, I try and stay pretty even keel. I'm very positive, of course. It's not a shtick, it's me, but I still try and stay even keeled as much as I can. Okay, time for me to get out of here. So don't forget to rate the bad joke on the way out. And yeah, out of 10. Let me know. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves. And take care of each other. You know, I was going to tell you a time traveling joke. Yes, a time traveling joke. But you guys didn't like it. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.